Hello, young people. We're going to talk today about pages 98 to 122 from Act 2 of Death of a Salesman. The scene kicks off with a dinner between Biff and Happy, and Willie joining them shortly thereafter. Biff is coming back from meeting with Bill Oliver, and we see that he is in the same sort of self-destructive cycle as Willie. Biff's meeting does not go well. He barely gets a word in with Bill Oliver. His unjustified attempt at getting a deal has been rejected. Very similarly, Willie's attempt previously in our previous section also to have an unjustified deal in his promotion or in his relocation was turned down. So the two characters are sort of mirroring themselves in this way of deluding themselves into thinking they could achieve something that was very clearly not possible, and both had those efforts rejected. Biff starts to come to terms with this and realizes that he was kind of foolish in believing that he could be a salesman. He had never really actually been a salesman. He'd been lying to himself his whole life. For 15 years, he was a shipping clerk, and he kept talking about having been a salesman. He begins to realize that the fantasy he created and bought was at odds with the reality of the situation. We see sort of in this moment that Willie has warped his children's view of the world, that Willie's perspective that lies and dreams are greater than reality, that has sort of been passed down to his children. Happy represents that in the moment where he kind of encourages Biff to lie about the meeting and say that the meeting went well and that they're going to meet again, Biff and Bill Oliver. That all he has to do is leave the house, come back, and say that Oliver's thinking things over. He'll think it over for a couple weeks, and eventually it'll just all fade away. As long as he can keep Willie happy and looking forward to something, then Willie will be a more pleasant person to be around and have something to continue moving forward with. This idea, it reinforces that idea that Willie's perspective and Willie's view is that lies and dreams are greater than reality and are more hopeful than reality. The characters here we see are dishonest in their relationships, but they are also dishonest in their willingness to acknowledge reality and the truth. They expect fantasies to come true, and they're humiliated when they have to face the reality of the situations that they put themselves into. Willie has been dishonest in lying about his commission and lying about his sales. Biff has been dishonest in his ideas of stealing basketballs from Bill Oliver, and then in this scene steals a golden fountain pen. Willie sort of pushes his perspective when talking to Biff on page 107. He says to him, "Don't give me a lecture about facts. I'm not interested in those." And that is kind of the root of all of this problem, is that Willie has never been interested in facts. He's been interested in the fantasies he's been able to create for himself. Those ideas have been passed to Biff and Happy, and they've been very willing to carry on the value of those fantasies as well. However, Biff is finally coming to terms with this situation. He's starting to face reality, and he does, it seems, want to break the cycle of Willie's belief in fantasies and lies. He wants to force Willie to see the truth in the scene. He wants to stop trying to sell himself. And he sort of begins to recognize that he will never be the person that his father wants him to be. As the scene develops, Willie begins to break in the restaurant. He's having memories of the woman as they begin to flood to his foreground. He has an argument with Biff that is both verbal and physical, and he walks off stage. In this moment, Biff responds to Miss Forsyth by saying that she's seen a prince, a troubled, fine prince, a hardworking, underappreciated prince, a pal, a good companion who is always for his boys. In this moment, Biff comes so close to heeding Linda's words that attention must be paid, that we need to recognize Willie's humanity. He acknowledges that Willie was hardworking, that he was underappreciated, that he was a good husband, that he was good intentioned with his sons, even if these things didn't play out. If anything, he maybe gives Willie a little bit more credit than he deserves, shows him a little bit more empathy than events will dictate as the scene goes on. He also forces Happy to acknowledge the reality of this situation and that Willie's risk of suicide is legitimate as he pulls out the hose and puts it on the table. He admits to Happy that he can't save Willie on his own, and even though Willie's fate might be in his hands, he can't do anything about it, and he kind of pleads for Happy to help, to do something to help his father. Shortly thereafter, as they walk off the scene, though, one of the other girls, Letta, says, "Don't you want to tell your father?" And Happy says, "No, that's not my father. He's just a guy." And the four of them storm out to go paint the town. Happy responds to this plea by disowning his father in a very effortless way. He has become a truly effortless liar. He has no values, and he's become the ultimate salesman. He's immoral. He's corrupt. He's chasing vice and cheap highs in this moment. And after Biff begs him for help, Happy says that he's just a guy. Biff, while he does try to help, seems to just buy into this complicitly as well, as they storm off stage together, and they leave Willie abandoned in the restaurant. This abandonment and betrayal is the theme that's built on as we get a flashback, and we see here sort of the catalyst and the entry point for a lot of the issues that have been taking place throughout the play. The scene begins with in a hotel room with Willie and the woman, and we see that Willie is seeing another woman while he's in Boston. The scene begins with Biff knocking on the door, trying to talk to Willie about his failed math class. And Willie is trying to ignore the reality and then knocking on the door until he's forced to answer the door by the woman. We find out that Biff failed math. He tried to go to the teacher to get extra points. They wouldn't give him the extra points. Biff begged for the extra points, and now he says to Willie, "Please just go talk to him. He'll understand you." He also tells us that the reason that the teacher doesn't like Biff is because Biff insulted him and made fun of him for having a lisp in front of the class. Willie responds by asking if the kids liked this and laughed at him, and they did. Willie's reaction to the failed math class is at first to blame Bernard and look that Bernard wouldn't give him the help or give him the answers. Willie doesn't take any issue with Biff not doing the work himself. There's no accountability there. He immediately tries to blame somebody else for the issue. Biff's response to all of this is also a sign of Willie's lessons. Biff's solution to failing math isn't to acknowledge your mistake and to work hard in summer school and to make up the credit and get that credit in the way that you can. His solution is to be well liked and to find Willie and send him in, who is also well liked, and try to just charm his way out of this problem. Biff still doesn't believe in hard work. He believes his solution is in a person being well liked and having that amount of well likeness sort of gets you the thing that you need. Not a small note either that some of the issues here could be that Biff insulted the teacher. This could be a large part of the reason he failed, and is probably a reason why the teacher wasn't willing to give Biff the benefit of the doubt. Willie's laughing at this. The main concern he has is if other kids liked it, not that his son shouldn't have been doing this. And yet again, we see that being well liked is more important to Willie than doing the right thing. And in this moment, he's passing that lesson on to his sons as well. Ultimately, this is, however, what exposes Willie, and the fact that Biff is telling this joke makes the woman laugh out loud, and the woman laughing out loud is what exposes Willie's infidelities in this case. Inadvertently, his poor lessons are the thing that reveal his infidelities. The section sort of rounds up with Willie now exposed, trying to get Birnbaum to talk to him, and Biff no longer is really that interested in this. He says that he wouldn't listen to you, that he's no longer going to the University of Virginia, and that he doesn't need Willie's help anymore. Biff now sees Willie for the kind of man that he is. Biff looked up to a fraud, and he recognizes that now. Previously he says if Birnbaum saw the kind of man he was, he'd come through. Now Biff sees the kind of man Willie is, and there's no more hiding from some of these issues. Willie's been blaming math for Biff's failures all along, but we see in reality it's Willie who's to blame. If Willie hadn't been unfaithful, Biff probably would have gone to summer school and passed the class and possibly gone on to college as well. We also see that the stockings in this scene have become an established symbol. Biff says, yells at Billy for giving Mama stockings to the woman. Willie had always been irritated every time Linda had the stockings. It had made him really upset, and he didn't want to see them. We see now that these stockings represent Willie's failure in his relationship and raising his sons, and they remind him of this really painful moment. For Biff, we also see that the stockings represent kind of the falseness of Willie's American dream, the betrayal that he's taken on. That Willie has cheated on his wife, that he has stolen from his family, and that the man that Biff had admired growing up is really a phony. As much as Willie betrayed and abandoned Biff in this moment, when we come back to the present, we also see that the boys have betrayed and abandoned Willie, and they've left the restaurant with Willie kind of on the floor of the bathroom in the midst of a bit of a breakdown. All of this leads to the very end of the scene with Willie talking to Stanley saying, "Oh, I'd better hurry. I've got to get some seeds. I've got to get some seeds right away. Nothing's planted. I don't have a thing in the ground." Again, going back to the seed motif, the seeds symbolizing Willie's need to leave a legacy. It's a return to the natural world, and Willie has a connection with the natural world. It's a connection to Willie's true self. The seeds emphasize Willie's desire to die having left something behind, to having left a legacy behind. He's able to recognize now, he has this epiphany, his sons have not grown into anything. He has not been able to cultivate anything in them. And so he must replant, he must recultivate in a different way. Willie ends this moment wanting to leave something behind when he's gone, no matter how small. And we can see the trajectory of Willie's sort of suicidal thoughts. It's leading to a more kind of final solution in this moment. It's interesting to know that Willie wants to plant seeds. Seeds are rooted to the ground. They take hold of a place with security. Those roots really grab in and allow something to grow. Willie is a traveling salesman. He's always on the road. He's always on the move. And part of his issue may have been that he's never had the stability and the security to stay in one place and to cultivate something, mostly in his family. We know at this point, based on what Linda has said previously, that things can't really grow in his yard. And part of the problem is that Willie himself, his sons, and the ground in which he built his house, none of it has the foundation to sustain roots, to cultivate something, and to grow it successfully into something that thrives. One thing you should be thinking about as we move forward into our discussion tomorrow, as you look through the chapter and as you go through your notes, just think about how Miller uses details in this section to reveal nuance, the subtleties of the section, and the inferences we have to make, and the complexities, those sort of internal conflicts and characters' relationships with one another in this section. I look forward to discussing this with you in our next class.